Welcome into the Slobberknocker Sports College Football Show. We are back, baby. It's been 4 long months of no college football. Maybe longer than that. I just made that up on the spot.
No, it's something like that, yeah.
But we're back. And we had week 0 last Saturday. We got a little taste, little sample with Kansas State and Iowa State. It was probably the ugliest game I've ever seen in week 1. It was terrible football. There was fumbles left and right. Not a lot of offense. Almost a brutal bad beat on the over, but it stayed under by about an inch.
Oh, yep. Forearm being down and then the knees. That had to hurt. I mean, the over didn't deserve to win anyway. But
no,
yeah,
but it was brutal. God bless the Rainbow Warriors. They always deliver for me in the late night magic.
Nothing like Rainbow Warriors.
So I
don't know why the fuck they were playing at 6:30. They got to do a better job week 0. And I said I wasn't going to curse on this show. I F-bombed 30 seconds in. You get that game at 11 o'clock. You got to have a good 2:30 game, and a good 3 good games and Rainbow Warriors at 9:30.
There you go. That's it. That's how it should be.
It's got to be that way.
That's the formula right there.
But
we had no games, so we got the 11 o'clock kick if you're in Central Time or noon if you're Eastern, and then there was no game for 3 hours. You're sitting there waiting, twiddling your thumbs, picking your nose, and then we get like a bunch of shitty games. Like we got Kansas UNLV at 5, and then you had Sam Houston Western Kentucky at 6, and Hawaii at 6:30. So I agree. Week 0, if you're going to have a week 0, do it right. Have some more decent teams play there and not just have that one morning game. Otherwise, in my opinion, get rid of week 0 and just play week 1.
Right. I think what you can do is if you're a big team, listen, it's 1 week less preparation, but you have a lot of time to prepare for it. Play week 0 and then have like a week 1 whatever. They play week 2, but you need to have 3 good games at least on week 0. So,
Agreed.
But I'm glad we're back for college football. I was sick and tired about talking about the W.
Well, that's not going anywhere. We're going to continue talking about the WNBA every single week. Caitlin Clark coming back soon.
Oh, yeah, right. We've been saying that for 3 months.
No, she participated in
a
walkthrough.
That's it. Back to college football.
All right. We got Jonathan in the house.
Jonathan's here.
Bailey.
And he better not disrupt my fucking work. I already told him once.
Bailey on the stick as
no
usual.
Sudden movements over there.
We're going to jump into this, okay? We've got some massive games in the slate in week 1. We don't have to wait around for good matchups. Number 1 and number 3 squaring off. Keep in mind, by the way, if you're new to the show, like and subscribe. Check out the full weekly podcast. Didn't have an episode this week, but every Tuesday or Wednesday we get that episode out. We shoot it Monday night.
And fan favorite Michelle's coming back.
Coming back, so
the next couple weeks
everybody will be looking forward to that. We're gonna have Wes on the show. We'll have some other guests on here, so hopefully we'll have a guest almost every week on this show. It's just us here week 1, but let's dive in. We're gonna start with the games of the week. Okay, the big game kickoff. All right, so the big kickoff right here. We're gonna start with the marquee matchup. I just teased it. The number 1, for the first time in the history of the school in the preseason, the number 1 ranked Texas Longhorns taking on the number 3 ranked Ohio State Buckeyes. Penn State sandwiched in between those two. Texas comes into this game, top ranked team in the country. However, they are a short underdog. Opened above 3. It's down to 1.5 as we are recording this today. Total on the game 47.5. Texas on the money line plus 105. Now, looking at this matchup between these two teams. Both teams lost a ton of production from last year, right? So Texas, 11 starters back, 4 on the offense, 7 on the defense. They lost most of their really good offensive line. A lot of them got drafted. I believe all 4 got drafted that left. You had Quinn Ewers got drafted. He's gone. But on the defensive side, 7 back. So big difference there, offense, defense. But on the offensive side for Texas, we all know the storyline. Arch Manning coming in, Heisman favorite. If he comes out in the draft, he'll be the favorite to be the number 1 overall pick, barring a catastrophic season. He's got the name. He's got the talent. He looks the part. We're going to find out a lot about him on Saturday. This game kicks off at 11 o'clock Central Standard Time, 12 Eastern. Now, other side, we got Ohio State. Ohio State, very similar to Texas. 9 starters back. They're losing a good chunk of production. Out goes Will Howard, the starting quarterback. They lose Henderson and Judkins, their 2 top running backs. Egbuka, their number 2 receiver, gone. On the defensive end, their leader, Jack Sawyer, out. They lose their best pass rusher. So tons of production to replace both sides of the ball for both teams. All right. But to me, and we'll start with this, the key to this game, obviously the game is in Ohio State. which is why the Buckeyes are a short favorite here. FBI has Texas as a favorite. They have them as about a 1-point favorite. They're 53% to win the game. But the key here to me is, what is the consistent unit we're getting here between these two teams? What's the most known commodity on these two teams?
Defense.
It's the Texas defense, right?
Yeah.
So 7 starters back, right? They lose Jahdae Barron, their best corner, but they return the star linebacker in Anthony Hill Jr., who's the preseason player of the year in the SEC, defensive player of the year. They return Michael Taff, an All-American, former walk-on on the back end as safety. So they've got some leaders. They're going to have a ton of NFL talent. Texas's defense, a lot of people think, is going to be the best in the country. Okay, you have a new starting quarterback for Ohio State in Julian Sayin.
Yep.
How, in your opinion, as we start here with the Texas defense versus the Ohio State offense, and in general, go wherever you want with this matchup, but how does Julian Sayin, in his first career start as a redshirt freshman, played a few snaps here and there last year in garbage time, how does he match up against what could be the best defense in the country with the Texas Longhorns? Is he going to struggle here? What do you think this game looks like from Ohio State on an offensive perspective?
Well, the benefit for him is he's got the best receiver in the country. So, I mean, most people say. I mean, him or Ryan Williams, right?
Yeah.
So,
and Jeremiah Smith.
Yeah. So, I just think that it's like you touched on. It's the Texas defense. I mean, that's the unit we know the most about. They're getting 7 starters back. It's a very good defense last year. 2 quarterbacks. Obviously, Arch played more last year than Julian Sayin. I just think that it's just going to be one on that side of the ball. I've been fucking with you all week saying, Texas, for Texas, it'd be better if I picked Ohio State anyway. I'm usually wrong. But I just think that Texas wins a game on that side of the ball. I think it's going to be a fairly ugly game. I think Arch will play okay. It's still a very, very tough spot, even though the Buckeyes obviously lost a ton on defense. Like you said, a fresh, young offensive line going into the shoe for their first ever game. How is that going to go? I don't know. But I just think Texas's defense ultimately wins the game for them. I think that's going to be – I think you're going to see Texas – and it's going to be more, I think, Arch with his legs and Texas running the ball. That is the difference, and really it's just going to be the defense that wins them the game. I think it's that simple. I think Ohio State, maybe towards the end of the year, when Sayin plays, is it Sayin, right?
Julian
Sayin.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna get better as the season goes on. They typically always do. And then I hope and pray that they end up losing to Michigan again because it'd be so damn funny. But, I'm going to say Texas by a touchdown.
Texas by a touchdown. Okay. Yeah.
I'll say 27-20.
27-20 Texas. All right. So you used to be right on the number, too. Total's 47.5.
Oh, is that what it is? Mm-hmm. Okay.
So
I thought
right
it
on
was
the
like
number.
49 or something. Yeah.
I think you're pretty close there. You touched on a lot of things. You talked about Texas running the football. I got to mention as well, Texas last year, Texas has been just churning out NFL running backs for the past decade, even when they weren't good for that stretch, right? Bijan, top 5 pick in the NFL draft a couple years back. Then they go and have Jonathan Brooks. Nobody knows who he is. He comes on, and he's the best running back in the country, led the nation in rushing before he got injured and tore his ACL. He gets drafted by the Panthers in the 2nd round. Really good talent. Last year, they had C.J. Baxter, who was the starting running back as a true freshman 2 years ago, tears his ACL in camp last year. So they did not have their go-to running back. They had to make it work with a 3-star young kid in Trey Wisner, who had a really good year, but they get Baxter back. And that's a thing nobody's talking about, right? Everybody's talking about Arch. Everybody's talking about Ryan Wingo, and rightfully so, right? Those are the 2 big names on the offense. I'm curious from the other perspective. I think Texas defense on that side, as we mentioned, I think Texas defense has their way with Ohio State. Young quarterback, it's at home, first career start. You're playing against the number 1 team in the country. All the hype on Arch Manning. I think he struggles. I mean, I don't know what he is. I know he's a talented kid. He's a 5-star kid. Was originally committed to Alabama, then changed his commitment, goes to Ohio State. Sat last year behind Will Howard. We'll find out a lot about him as well. I think this is just a brutal first game, right? Like, you're getting probably the best defense in the country, lots of returning guys. Defensive coordinator's been there for 6 seasons now, so going to be a tough matchup. Other side, though, I do agree. I think what's going to determine whether Texas can kind of run away with this or not is the offensive line, right? What do we know about the offensive line? Well, they lost a good chunk of production. They do get Trevor Gooseby back, so really you could say 2 starters because he did start towards the end of the year due to injuries, and he looked very, very good. And Texas reloads. Look, they had the number 1 recruiting class in the country this year, okay? They've got more money than anybody. Everybody talked about how much money Ohio State spent last year. Well, Texas spent more this year, okay? So Texas has all the talent. They've got all the pieces. This, to me, and you tell me if you agree, I think this is a bigger game for Texas, given Ohio State playing in the Big Ten, and yes, Oregon and Penn State are good, but their schedule's much easier the rest of the way. Texas still has to go to Georgia. Texas still has the game with A&M, the rivalry game, the last game of the season. They still have the Red River shootout with Oklahoma. So if you get this win and you're Texas, I think you're almost, barring like catastrophic injury to Arch, you're a playoff team, almost 100%. If they lose this game, now it's like, okay, we're going to have to take care of business in some really tough environments in the SEC and not slip up because, we didn't see a 3-loss team get in last year. So you have one more loss on your schedule. So I think it's a bigger game for Texas here. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think with these teams playing this game, that if either of these teams have exactly 3 losses, both of them will get in.
You think so?
Unless there's just a catastrophic loss on there. Unless you're losing to,
Kentucky.
like a Vanderbilt.
Oh, well, low blow.
Sorry.
We're like 10 minutes into the first show. We're taking shots.
Yeah.
By the way, bet your baby bet of the year, Vanderbilt over 4.5 wins. I put $200 on it. Book it right now.
Question.
Lay the juice, lay the money, bet your baby, bet your house, bet your mortgage. Don't matter. Lay it on Vanderbilt over the 4.5.
Real question here is, talking about the different units, is Texas's special teams coach still here that dates Pole Assassin?
Pole Assassin and him are going strong.
Okay, well, good.
Yes.
Then that unit will be ready. That unit will be ready to go.
Damn
Texas
straight.
will win the special teams battle.
They will be very agile in that matchup.
Yes, okay.
We like
Pole Assassin.
Pole
and the
Assassin.
monkey.
Jeff Banks is his name,
Jeff
by the way.
Banks.
Yes.
I wonder if Banks still has they still got the monkeys.
All right, let's move on. Let's go to game number 2. It's the second big game of the week, and we have LSU, the Tigers, traveling.
The Tigers versus the Tigers.
It's the Tigers. Well, it's the Tigers versus the Tigers.
Yeah, the Tigers.
Right? This game is being played at Memorial Stadium in Clemson, South Carolina. We have the number 9 LSU Tigers traveling to take on the number 4 Clemson Tigers. 2 teams very similar to Texas and Ohio State, very highly talked about in the offseason, right? 2 teams that are legitimate playoff contenders going into the season, playing a big game in week 1.
I think both these teams will go to the playoffs.
Very likely both teams go to the playoffs. The difference between these 2 units and with Texas and Ohio State is there's 2. Number 1, both of these teams return a significant amount of starters. Okay, LSU returns 16, 8 on both sides of the ball. Clemson returns 17, 8 on offense, 9 on defense. So tons of production back for both teams, and both teams return their starting quarterbacks, and they're number 2 and number 3 in the Heisman contender, or in the Heisman race, odds-wise, at DraftKings right now. So you have Cade Klubnik, the kid from Clemson, Austin native from Westlake High School, came in, 5-star kid, a lot of hype, didn't live up to the hype the first year, didn't get in much. Second year, really disappointing, didn't show a lot of improvement. And then last year, it seemed like it was very disappointing. They got smacked by Georgia early in the year. And then as the year goes on, he didn't have a bunch of great games. I would say this. If you look at his numbers at the end of the year, 36 touchdowns, 6 picks. Everybody talked about him in this offseason. He's been a big topic of conversation, how good he's going to be this year. And I was one, and I still think he'll have a solid year. But I think this, and I'll kind of start the conversation here. I think the talk has gone too far here, all right? Klubnik in the last 2 games, we all have a recency bias, right? He had, I believe it was like 4 touchdowns and no picks against SMU in the ACC title game. They were legitimately a field goal, a 60-yard field goal from a freshman away from going to overtime, and it's 50-50, and if they lose that game, they don't go to the playoffs, and we're not talking about him at all, or Clemson at all. Instead, they win this game on a walk-off field goal against an SMU team that was not very good. We saw what happened to SMU in the playoff, right? And then they go back and play Texas, they get beat by 2 touchdowns, but Klubnik looked good. And that's all we remember is Klubnik looked good in the last 2 games he played. He threw 7 touchdowns in those 2 games, over 300 yards per game. And everybody's talking about him as a Heisman contender and even an NFL quarterback, which is baffling to me. I think the hype is too much. I think Nussmeier is a better quarterback.
Yeah, I think he's far better.
I think LSU has more talent, better athletes. They return not only Nussmeier, but they get Caden Durham, the kid out of Duncanville, Texas. Solid running back last year. They lose their top receiver, but they have a much better recruiting class this year than they did last year. What's your take on this game? I'm taking LSU in this one. I think LSU wins a tight game. Brian Kelly, winless in his opening game as the head coach at LSU. I think he breaks the streak here and gets it done. They're a 3.5-point dog. I think they win it. I'm going to say this is a high-scoring game. 31-24, LSU wins by a touchdown.
Okay, I'm really high on LSU this year. We both are. I think they're going to be good. You actually had them ranked higher when we did our rankings on the actual podcast. I did not know. I thought with this kind of matchup that this is a neutral site game.
Oh.
This is at Clemson.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
No, I knew that, yeah.
That makes sense why they're favored by 3.5. I still thought it would maybe be 3.
It
now
still says that still says that Clemson's a favorite on a neutral field by half a point, which I disagree.
Yeah.
I disagree with that.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. Obviously it's a tough place to play. Night game. I'm with you. I think LSU is the better team. I'm actually going to change my pick here, and this will be good for entertainment purposes. I'm going to take Clemson at home to win by a field goal.
Okay.
It's a very close game. Brian Kelly has never really gotten it done in big games, especially early in the year. His LSU teams have gotten far better as the years progressed, the last couple years. They were way better towards the end of the year. They always start slow. I think you see them lose this game. I do think Nussmeier is better than Klubnik. I think the Klubnik praise and people calling him like the second Heisman favorite and stuff is a huge reach. I don't understand it. I know that we don't have, in Nussmeier is the favorite. Is that correct?
I believe he's the second favorite for the Heisman behind Arch.
Behind Arch. So it's like, but yeah, I mean, it just
Klubnik
to me,
is second, I think.
I mean, we're reaching.
Third.
It seems like typically we come into the season knowing like, hey, this guy's a firm Heisman favorite, in the last couple of years haven't necessarily, people were talking about Quinn Ewers winning the Heisman like 4 weeks in last year, remember? Yeah. So, I mean,
1 weekend.
Yeah. So, I'm going to take Clemson by a field goal, close game.
What's your score?
I think it's going to be a high-scoring game, too. I think there's going to be points. I'll go.
What's the total?
30-27 Clemson.
30-27 Clemson. Total's 49.5. That does seem a bit low. Both teams
have
high-powered
offense. That's Notre Dame.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was like,
that can't be right. Yeah. I don't know what the other one is, but that couldn't be right.
Yeah, 57.5. I was like, that makes no sense. Okay. All right, speaking of Notre Dame, let's go there. Since we've gotten our 2 big picks, we got one more game on the docket.
God's team. Shout out Jeremiah.
This is actually Notre Dame. Notre Dame is a 2.5-point favorite. They are traveling to take on Miami in Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens, Florida. So another top 10 matchup here. We've got 3 of them in week 1, but this one I believe is Sunday night, correct? This is the Sunday night game.
Yeah, it's Sunday night game.
So we've got August 31st, 6:30 p.m. kickoff Central Standard Time. Notre Dame, slight favorite in the FPI, projected 55% probability to win. Here we go again. Big roster turnover on these 2 teams, right? Riley Leonard, quarterback that led Notre Dame, to the national championship last year. He's gone. We had Miami lose their starting quarterback, Cam Ward, San Antonio Incarnate Word kid. He gets drafted number 1 overall to the Titans, but they do replace him with another big recruit and starting quarterback from a Power 4 team in Carson Beck. Okay. On the other hand, Notre Dame starting a kid named C.J. Carr, who I believe has never started a collegiate football game. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's correct.
So kind of a little difference there. We have a younger, more inexperienced quarterback going on the road. Who wins this matchup? Does Notre Dame, they went into A&M last year in a much more difficult environment.
Yeah.
And they won on the road. Do they win here?
I think they do, and it's because of the ground game, not because of C.J. Carr. It's because of Jeremiah Love. I think Notre Dame will pound the ball and win the game. In Miami, it's almost disappointing on how they have 0 home field advantage. Like, there's going to be a ton of Notre Dame fans there. Obviously, they travel well. They're everywhere. But it's just Miami, you always think for those big games, like, oh, this is going to be a good environment. It just never is. I don't know what it is about them. Maybe at the old Orange Bowl it was. I'm not too sure. That was kind of, obviously when the U was really good in the early 2000s, they were just beating the shit out of everybody. They probably didn't even need a home field advantage.
Yeah.
Those teams were loaded. But, hey, classic convicts, Catholics versus convicts. It's a great rivalry right here.
So...
score prediction before you go. I'll go, I'm going to say 27-17 Notre Dame.
27-17 Notre Dame. I think you're pretty close there. I don't know. I guess my thing with this game is, what is Carson Beck? I don't know. We've seen him for 2 years at Georgia.
But the best roster imaginable.
With the best roster around him. The first year he was there, he looked much better. Well, he should have looked better. He had Brock Bowers and Ladd McConkey to throw to all season long. Two basically first-round picks who are killing it in the NFL one year in.
Big dog could throw those guys.
Yeah, literally could. He literally actually could. That's what I'll give you.
Obviously, he's a great quarterback. Big dog.
No,
was.
That's not true.
He had slain the rock.
But I agree with you, though. When you're throwing to those guys, it's hard to tell what you are. Last year, he was very average looking for most of the year. We saw him go to Austin, and while Georgia won the game, Beck threw 4 interceptions and looked terrible most of the night. They won because of their defense and run game and Texas's inability to protect Quinn Ewers, right? And then we see Beck go down in the SEC title game, and they bring in a freshman who had not played a snap, and they win basically without throwing the ball in the second half. They were losing by 3 at halftime and win the game with the backup quarterback barely able to throw the ball. And it's like, well, really, what did Carson Beck bring you then? So I don't know what he brings here to Miami. It'll be interesting to see. Miami does return a good chunk of its roster. They return 8 guys on offense, and one of those guys lost is the quarterback in Cam Ward. So of the 10 guys around Beck, 8 of those starters are back. That said, the 2 they lost, Arroyo, their tight end, and Xavier Restrepo, their wide receiver, their 2 top targets. So he's losing his best 2 weapons on the outside. Now, you couple that with it, that's one side of the ball, right? That's the offensive side. I don't know how that's going to look. Notre Dame lost Al Golden to the NFL, their defensive coordinator. So what's Notre Dame's defense look like? Marcus Freeman hasn't traditionally been great X and O's wise, especially early in the season. We all know what happened to Notre Dame against Northern Illinois last year. So we'll see on that side of the ball. I'm unsure what I'm going to see there.
College football runner-ups.
I would actually, if you ask me, we can go to the national championship and lose to Ohio State by double digits, but we have to lose to Northern Illinois at home. I would say no. I'd rather lose in the semifinals to Ohio State like Texas did. No, thank you. Especially because they just got handed a easy road there. Anyway, playing fucking big game James Franklin in the semifinals. What a tough matchup.
Got a lot of pent up anger.
Drew Allard handing an interception to Notre Dame to kick a field goal to win the game. Anyway, beside the fucking point. On the other side of the ball, like you said, this is the problem. Miami's defense was atrocious last year. So, yeah, they returned 7 starters, but they couldn't stop a nosebleed the last 6 games. How are they going to stop Jeremiah Love, the best running back in the country?
Jeremiah Love's going to run for 185 yards.
Yeah, his only issue is whether or not he gets injured. If he stays healthy in that game and plays the whole game, he will go for 200 in that game. I believe that. Whatever his total is on the prop line, take the over, and as long as he doesn't get injured, he's going over that because they're going to run the ball down their throat, and Miami's not going to be able to stop it. Notre Dame wins this game. I think they win it by 2 touchdowns. I think they win it. I don't think it's a high-scoring game. I think it's legitimately, I'm going to say 27-13 Notre Dame. 27-13. And that does it for our big game breakdowns there. Okay? So let's go in. We're gonna run down rapid-fire the picks here. Okay? I'm going to give you game, and you're going to tell me who you like. If you want to give a short little summary, great. If not, we're moving on, and I'll write down the picks right here. All right.
Write them down.
Here we go. All right, let's start on Thursday night. We've got the number 25 Boise State Broncos, 5.5-point favorites. They're traveling to South Florida to take on the Bulls.
South Florida. Upset.
Pulling an upset on the first game.
Yep.
I will say this line did drop a significant amount. There's been sharp money on South Florida. You don't fade Boise State. God loves the blue turf. He loves Boise. You take the Broncos. Give me Boise State to win this game. Number 2, let's go to another good matchup on Thursday night. Not any ranked teams here, but we got Nebraska, who apparently ESPN College Football Game believes will be in the national championship this year, taking on Cincinnati. It's a road game for Nebraska. They're a 6.5-point favorite. Dylan Raiola returns for his second season.
Oh, God. Mahomes Jr.
Yeah, not really.
I'll take Nebraska by a field goal.
All right, Nebraska by a field goal. I'm going to say, here you go. I'm going to take an upset here. Cincinnati wins the game outright by a field goal. They win on a game-winning field goal. Okay? We're already on the opposite side of both here.
Love it.
Okay, moving on to Friday night. Here's one that we were talking to our good buddy Kevin McLaughlin earlier about. His Baylor Bears at home, season opener, taking on your brother's boy in Jackson Arnold, starting for Auburn this year because he couldn't cut it at Oklahoma.
Oh, man, I forgot Jackson Arnold's there.
Heisman pick by Jeremiah.
All right, I got to pick Auburn.
Auburn's a 2.5-point favorite.
I didn't know this game was at Baylor. I think Baylor's going to win the game.
Who are you picking?
I got to pick Auburn.
I'm gonna pick Baylor.
Yeah, because they're going to win the game. I didn't know it was at Baylor. It's horrible.
I think it's 50-50. I don't know.
I'm actually shocked that Auburn's favored by 2.5.
Well, they're better roster. I don't know. David Ron is pretty damn stupid. All right, interesting matchup here. We got another good one Friday night. Georgia Tech traveling to Boulder to take on Prime and the Buffaloes. New quarterback for Prime, Caden Salter, coming over from Liberty.
Yep.
Had a good career at Liberty. Now he's going to start for the Buffaloes here over, I believe, is it Julian Fleming, who's that top recruit they got, that quarterback?
Yeah.
So Georgia Tech returns a ton on offense. Yep. Haynes King is back. Rutherford is back. So who do you like?
Haynes King and the boys. Georgia Tech.
Haynes King is a dog. He won a brookie last year, too. You never fade Haynes King, especially not week one. You got the soft, Instagram-heavy, Dion, bitch, Colorado team.
Man, show some respect.
Taking on.
The guy's got like 6 toes left, man. Show some respect.
I think it's like 8 toes, and he's also got a son that has half a brain. 2 sons. Shiloh punched a guy in the face.
I thought we were keeping it professional. Look at this.
Shiloh punched a guy in the face.
Thought, and it's me that always comes off the. Apparently, it's me that comes off the tracks all the time.
When Todd Bowles cuts you, you're fucking bad. All right. Yeah. And apparently, he was only guaranteed like $1,300. It was pretty funny. Okay. Anyway, his brother Shadur will be out of the league very soon as well.
He's a star.
Give me Georgia Tech, Haynes King, and the boys take care of business. Yellow Jackets roll in this one by double digits. All right, we always have to pick this game. It's the last Friday night game.
Yeah, but you're gonna take UNLV and try to jump up in the standings on me.
I
got
UNLV.
9.5
Then
points.
Take UNLV.
No, because my underdog of the week.
I put him on there for you, and I put Sam Houston.
You're such a
You're
such a squirrely little fucker.
Nobody wants to hear about.
He lost college football last year by a game, so he's gonna go up 9 games on me here early.
Nobody wants to pick. To listen about Sam Houston State. I put him on here for this guy.
Skip him because
we're picking the game.
UNLV, no, we're not.
UNLV at Sam Houston.
All right, UNLV.
UNLV.
I'm picking Sam Houston State as my underdog.
Don't tease that. Okay, that's coming up. Stay tuned in for the double-digit dog of the week. All right, going to Saturday. We both already picked Texas against Ohio State, so we'll skip that one. All right, let's go to the next one. We'll go Syracuse. Oh, sorry. Forgot. And I'm going to give you one here. That's bullshit. You should actually have to take Sam Houston because I'm going to take a double-digit dog right here on the money line anyway. Southern Miss at Mississippi State. My upset of the week right here. Upset alert. Southern Miss will upset Mississippi State this week as a 13.5-point dog. Head coach from Marshall, okay, who won the Sun Belt last year, takes over the worst team in the country in 2024, and he brings the entire roster over. Their win total is, for some reason, only 4.5. I slammed the over. They go to a bowl game this year, and they do it because they start with a win over Mississippi State in dramatic fashion. Biggest game for the program in the history of the program. They need this win. It would be huge, and it would set Mississippi State back years. Give me the Golden Eagles. Is that what they are? Give me the Golden Eagles of Southern Miss to take down Mississippi State.
What a prediction. I'll take the Bulldogs, and if the Bulldogs lose, I think their head coach will be killed.
You think they'll actually kill him?
It's 50-50. Bailey, you think he gets out of Starkville alive if he loses to Southern Miss?
50-50. That's fair.
50-50. Put the War Dogs to it. It's like 50-50.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna say he does make it out alive, but they do lose the game. Okay, moving on. Let's go. We're gonna slip this one in for Bailey. Number 24 Tennessee at home, 13.5-point favorites taking on Syracuse. I'm taking Tennessee, but I do think Syracuse. I wanted to make a case for Syracuse. They're just so bad. Tennessee's not going to be good this year. But I will take Tennessee to win this game. All right, Northwestern at Tulane. Tulane a 6.5-point favorite right here.
Tulane. Willie Fritz and the boys.
Willie Fritz and the boys get it done easy. They're a 6.5-point favorite. Although we have seen money on Northwestern. 10 all the way down to 6.5 now. Gone through two key numbers. Toledo at Kentucky. Another SEC team laying a smaller number than expected. Only 9.5-point favorite at home against Toledo. Now, Toledo is the co-favorite with Buffalo in the MAC this year. But only laying 9.5. Who are you taking?
Kentucky in a close one.
Yeah, Kentucky's going to win. You never pick any upsets, but I'll take Kentucky here. All right, Bama traveling to Florida State. Your favorite team, Mike Norvell. From undefeated to 2-10.
Softest team in football. Florida
and now
State.
They have a new quarterback in Castellanos, the transfer from Boston College. Okay, Bama, Ty Simpson, the new starting quarterback there. Does Kalen DeBoer get Bama back on track this year? Do they take care of business against the Seminoles?
35-10 Alabama.
I think that's a pretty safe bet, actually. All right, here's an interesting one. I'm picking Bama as well. Bama wins by 17. South Dakota traveling to Ames to take on Iowa State. Iowa State, top 25 team. They won last week in week 0 in Ireland over Kansas State. Now you got the Ireland hangover. The teams in the last 5 years who have played that first game in Ireland are 15 games below 500. They're taking on a good FCS team here. Any chance South Dakota pulls this upset?
You mentioned it earlier. Iowa State likes to screw around these games quite a bit. Can remember several times with them playing like Northern Iowa, and then Iowa always plays close games with those teams too. South Dakota's a good FCS. I would assume they opened as a top 8 team in the FCS. Like you said, tough coming back from Dublin, but I do think Iowa State will win this game by like 7. I think it's going to be an ugly game that they win by 7. I can't. Iowa State's got a decent enough talent to get the dub, but it's going to be an ugly game.
In honor of Lee Corso, win, no cover.
Right.
No cover.
Win, no cover.
It's going to be a tight one. People are not going to expect it. That line seems short when you're first glance. You're a top 25 team who just beat Kansas State in a neutral site. You're playing a FCS team, and you're laying less than 2 touchdowns. That number seems short, right? But it's not, because South Dakota's not bad, and this is a tough spot for Iowa State, even at home.
Yep.
All right. Here we go. Good one. 2 Texas teams. A&M, the Aggies, the perennial 8-4 Aggies who cannot beat Texas, haven't beaten them in 20 years. 23.5-point favorites against.
What kind of fucking stat is that?
Well, that's true.
They didn't play for 13.
Well, they won the last one and then they won the restart one, so they haven't. They haven't played them. They haven't beat them in a long time. Just saying. But number 19, A&M. That's 18 spots lower than Texas, by the way, in the preseason. They're taking on the UTSA Roadrunners, who return 9 starters on offense, but just 2 on defense.
Yeah, man, UTSA may score a couple touchdowns on them. I think the Aggies will win this game by 20.
Aggies win this game by 35 points. It's not close.
Yeah.
All right. We already both picked. You took Clemson, and I took LSU. Okay. Next one. This one's in there for you as well. We wouldn't pick it otherwise. UTEP at Utah State. Utah State's a 5.5-point favorite.
Miners, bitch. Miners are going to be Malachi Nelson, who's a 5-star but can't start anywhere, baby. It's UTEP's saving grace.
Well, he can start at UTEP.
Well, it was a quarterback battle, but
was
he's a starter.
Actually?
I don't know if they claim it was.
Well, it probably was. The guy couldn't get us a minute anywhere else.
The Miners will beat the shit out of Utah State.
Utah State by a touchdown. Texas State at home taking on Eastern Michigan. We're just picking we picked the Texas teams. Texas State, they're 13.5-point favorites. We'll both take Texas State. The Cats, eat 'em up Cats. All right, Cal and Oregon State, one of the late night games. Oregon State laying 1.5.
Where is it at?
Corvallis.
I'll take Oregon State.
I will take Oregon State as well, although it's gonna be a tight game. All right, Arizona taking on Hawaii. Arizona, big favorite here, 17.5.
Yeah. Is Arizona supposed to be okay this year?
Well, they returned 7 on both sides of the ball.
Okay.
Fafita's back. Their running back's back.
Fafita fucking sucks.
Oh,
yeah,
how dare you.
I'll take Arizona.
He hates the Samoans. Okay. Utah.
I love the Samoans unless they're playing in cold weather.
Utah. Utah traveling to California, to Los Angeles, California, take on the Bruins. UCLA, new starting quarterback, Bailey's boy, Nico Amavialia. Probably pronounced that wrong.
Close enough.
But he did get a couple $1 million less to transfer from Tennessee to UCLA. Can they pull the upset here?
It is weird that Utah's favored by 5.5. Not that
I'm taking UCLA before you do anything.
Not that the Rose Bowl's a tough place to play, but it is weird. I'll take Utah. Fuck Nico.
By the way, remember our rules last year? You get 1 point for a pick. If you pick a dog of 7 or more, it's a bonus, and 14 or more is a double bonus.
Okay.
Remember that? Okay. All right. So
just so you know, Southern Miss is 13
we'll see where they close. We'll see where they close. They open 15.5. So if we're going by the opening line, they are a double.
We're not going by
Just
the live
saying.
line.
We'll see.
Why don't we shoot this show?
We'll see where that lands.
Right.
Okay. Let's see here. Last games, we've got last game of the night, we're both picking Washington, Colorado State, Washington. They're a 21-point favorite. All right, now let's go to Sunday. We skipped Sunday because that's the only game that night, I believe.
No.
There's
South
not.
Carolina.
That one's on Sunday, too?
Yeah.
Okay, so Virginia
2:30.
Tech taking on South Carolina.
We're both going to take South Carolina, but that's a pretty big game.
That is a big game. Okay, and then now we got Monday night.
Who do you want? TCU, North Carolina? I'll just take the other
I'm
side.
taking TCU.
All right, I'll take North Carolina.
And we both took Notre Dame. So we both take Notre Dame, and then I took
Wait,
TCU.
did Mac retire?
What?
Oh, yeah, it's fucking
Mac
Belichick.
retired.
Oh, God. All right, I'll take Belichick. I'll take Belichick.
He fucked you. That was your lock of the century when
the Mac Brown trivia game.
And they got spanked.
Yeah.
You were so good all year, but you went with Mac Brown. He fucked you over.
I know,
he
man.
completely fucked you. All right.
Fucking Mac.
So you got UNC and Unk Bill Belichick and his 21-year-old girlfriend. I take Sonny Dykes and TCU, and that's our rapid fire pick. Here we go. I need Turner's. Turner was hot last year. Okay, with his total of the week, I think he started 7-0 on the total. His double-digit dog, he finished I think over 60%.
This is what happens when you retire, folks. You can call them all.
That's
when
right.
You retire.
He's been hot
you
on his tennis picks too. I posted them on my website the last couple days.
Oh, have you really?
That's right.
Oh, damn it, the pressure's on now. I had no idea.
I shouldn't have said anything.
Let's see here. I forgot what I said before
Double-digit dog.
Oh, my double-digit dog. I started the show last year with my double-digit dog, the Sam Houston State Bearcats, to beat Texas State. And that was one of the craziest comebacks of all time. I think we turned it off. They were down 27. Yeah. Is that right? They come back to win the game. And not only did they come back to win, I think they were up 10, and then Texas State went down and scored. It was a bizarre game. UNLV's
snuck in a field goal.
UNLV is not very good. I think they will get better under Dan Mullen. I think that was a good hire. Very easily could have lost to Idaho State, and obviously they probably weren't prepared to play their best. It didn't seem like that. They came out not too hot out of the gate, but I think Sam Houston State pulls the upset at home at Bauer Field. It's either Bauer Field or Bowers Field. I can't remember, but they're going to pull the upset and take down the UNLV running Rebels.
UNLV struggled last week at home with, was it
Idaho State?
Yeah, Idaho State, an FCS team who's not very good. Idaho State was actually winning. They got a touchdown called back.
Yeah.
They would have gone up, I think, 38-31 or 31-24 late in that game and got called back. So, yeah, I don't hate that pick at all. I liked it. They're a 9.5-point dog, 3-1 on the money line. Back Sam Houston State there.
And my total of the week, is that what I'm going to next here?
Total of the week.
Total of the week. Over, what was it, 49 in the Michigan-New Mexico game.
49.5, I think.
Yeah, 49.5.
Yep.
New Mexico could not stop a good Pop Warner team. I think Michigan scores every single time they have the ball. I think Michigan wants to make a statement that they have an offense this year. I think they're just going to try to score 100 points. I think New Mexico would put one in the end zone. I think you're looking at I'm going to go 56-7 final.
56-7 blowout. They get there on their own. They don't need the points from New Mexico.
They don't need the points from New Mexico.
Like it. I like the pick. All right, so you got Turner's two best bets. Now we're going to go to my Bet Your Baby Bets of the week. I got 4 of them for you, just like last year. Finished 65%.
Yeah, you were on fire
last year. Let's see if we can start off hot here. Okay, I got 4 picks for you today, 3 sides in a total. Let's start with the one side that I'm going full game. We're going to go with a team that took some sharp money already in the week in Buffalo. The Buffalo is it the Bulls?
Buffalo Bulls.
Buffalo Bulls plus 18. They're at Minnesota. Now, look, Buffalo, Their win total this year, 7.5. Okay, they're projected as the top. Them and Toledo are the co-favorites in the MAC. Okay, they went 9-4 last year, including a bowl win. They returned 16 of 22 starters, but here's the key: 9 of their 11 starters on defense, and their top 5 tacklers all come back. Okay, they were one of the best defenses in the MAC last year. They'll be the best defense in the MAC this year. Okay, they won twice last year as a double-digit outright, right? Including a win over number 23 Northern Illinois the week after Northern Illinois went into South Bend and took down Notre Dame outright, okay? Minnesota has 13 starters back, but they have a brand new starting quarterback who's only thrown 5 passes ever in his career. And keep in mind, last year they lost their home opener. It was the first game of the year, week 1, playing none other than North Carolina. Lost 19-7 on a walk-off field goal. Max Brosmer was the starter, who's now in the NFL trying to make a roster. I think Buffalo keeps this close. The total in this game is 43.5. Very low-scoring game.
Oh, yeah.
And we're catching 18 points here. Back the Bulls plus the 18. Best bet number 1. Bet your
they're
bet
getting
number
18?
1. 18.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Number 2, we're going to go to some first halves here. We're going to back Arizona, the Wildcats, their opening game, minus 9.5 in the first half. They're taking on the Rainbow Warriors of Hawaii. I went to Hawaii as a best bet last week in the first half, and they got it done for me. Jonathan and I were watching them as they scored in the last few seconds of the half to cover the bet. All right, but we're going to actually fade Hawaii here, and here's why. Hawaii played a home game last week in week 0 against Stanford. Like I said, they beat the Cardinal on a walk-off field goal. Stanford's one of the worst teams in the FBS. They're won horrible. 3 games the last 3 seasons. They have a new coach in Frank Reich. Frank Reich, by the way, had all 3 timeouts, and Hawaii had like 20.
And GM Andrew Luck.
And GM Andrew Luck. But I don't like fading Andrew Luck. But they had all 3 timeouts with like 25 seconds to go, and Hawaii was basically going to take a knee for a field goal, and they could have just called timeout and had a chance to set up a return, maybe a Hail Mary, let the clock expire down to 3 seconds and let them kick the game-winning field goal. And it was like a 29-yard field goal. So Frank Reich, not a great coach at all. That's why Hawaii was able to win the game last week. Stanford actually led by a touchdown in the second half with the ball driving and turned it over. But here's the key. Stanford ran it down the throat of Hawaii. Hawaii, big size mismatch against any significantly sized FBS team, which Arizona is. Arizona returned 16 starters, 16 starters, 7 on offense, 9 on defense, including quarterback Noah Fafita. Okay, they did lose McMillan, their top. Was it McMillan? Yeah, their top receiver. But look, Arizona's going to be able to shove this right down the throat of the Hawaii defense. Their linebackers are very undersized. They struggle to tackle. They play hard, but they're just not as big as a normal FBS team. They're also traveling here after a week 0. They've been in Hawaii for X amount of months, and now they're having to travel multiple time zones. That's a tough spot. And here's the other key quarterback, the starting quarterback for Hawaii, Micah Alihado. He's their best player. He's phenomenal. He's a lefty. He was really good against Stanford. He got his knee twisted up late in the game. He played in the last quarter and a half, but he could barely move, and his legs are a big part of his game.
He's a warrior. He'll be back.
He's going to play this week, but he has not practiced the whole week. He's at about 65-70%. Arizona jumps on them early. I think they cover the 17.5 in the game, but we're just going to take the less than 2 scores just to be up 10 or more at halftime. Arizona minus 9.5 in the first half. We're going to go back to the well with the first half bet.
He's going to be on the Hawaii gas, that crystal meth.
Well, it's very
that Dog the Bounty Hunter tries to clean up on the island.
And you tell me I go off the rails. Okay.
That's what they do in Hawaii.
I didn't know that. Texas A&M minus 13.5 in the first half against UTSA. This is another one where I think they're going to cover the full game, but we're getting less than 2 scores in the first half, 14 or more. Aggies return 15 starters, 8 on offense, 7 on defense. I don't love Marcel Reed, right? But he's got a year of experience under his belt. And against teams that lack the speed of a team like A&M, an SEC caliber team, he tends to do really well. Subpar defenses especially, that's exactly what UTSA has, right? They're an American team. They lost 9 of 11 starters on defense on a team that wasn't very good defensively last year. Okay, A&M also returns Le'Veon Moss, their top running back. I think he has a big game. I like the Aggies here. And then last year against Texas on the road in the same type of spot where UTSA goes on the road and takes on a big Power 5 or Power 4 SEC squad. It was 28-7 at halftime, and they lost 56-7 to Texas. And Quinn Ewers got hurt in that game. okay, in the first quarter. Now, actually, it was probably a positive for them, but regardless, UTSA gets rolled here. Back A&M in the first half. I like them in the game, too, but lay the 13.5 in the first half. And then last one, we're going to go with the total of the week, Nebraska at Cincinnati. We're going to go under 52.5. I already picked Cincinnati in this game. I think they're a live dog. But here's the key. Cincinnati returns 9 starters on defense. Okay, Nebraska only returns 5, but they got a number of talented transfers on the defensive side of the ball. Both these teams are built on defense, and both these teams play super slow pace. Okay, last year, Cincinnati, 86th out of 134 teams in pace, and Nebraska was 107th in tempo. So very slow teams. And then the last thing I'll mention for this game, Nebraska last year with Raiola under center was terrible on the road, specifically on the offensive side of the ball. They averaged 16.4 points per game on the road last year, couldn't move the ball. 4 of their 5 games, they did not eclipse the 20-point mark. Okay, 1 game all year, and it was against Purdue on the road, did they actually score over 20 points. It was a 28-10 win against Purdue. Raiola and the offense will struggle here early. This is going to be a low-scoring, grinded-out, ugly game. And keep in mind, 51, the second most key number in totals in college football. That's the number that lands the most, second most in college football, behind 55. We're getting over 51 here, so it's 52.5. Anything over 51, you take it. Okay, it's good to 51.5. 51, it's up to you. Anything below 51, it's a pass. All right, those are my Bet Your Baby bets of the week. Again, quick recap. We're going to go Buffalo plus the 18 against Minnesota. We're going to lay the 9.5 with Arizona in the first half against Hawaii. We're going to lay the 13.5 with the Texas A&M Aggies against UTSA at home, and we're going to take the under in Nebraska, Cincinnati. Those are my 4 best bets of the week. All right. Last thing we're going to do, the Miller Lite Parlay of the Week, new segment this year. Me and Uncle T come together. We get our 3 picks that we like that are not our best bets and not in his total or dog of the week, and we get a parlay of the week. And so I'm going to give you them quickly here. We're going to go with Notre Dame minus the 2.5 against Miami. We already broke this game down. God's team. Notre Dame gets it done. They go on the road.
Touchdown, Jesus.
We're going to take another road team here, an LSU, even though you decided to change your pick. LSU.
That was for entertainment purposes.
Catching the 3.5 on the road. They may lose this game, but it's going to be tight. LSU plus the 3.5 at Clemson, and then we're going to cap it off with a third road team. It's the Road Warriors parlay of the week. Okay, Georgia Tech, 14 starters back. Haynes King back. Top running back, top wide receiver back. Give me the Yellow Jackets, minus the 4.5 to go into Boulder, take down Colorado. That's our 3-team Miller Lite parlay of the week, unofficial sponsor of the Slobberknocker Sports Podcast. And that's all we got for you this week.
Yeah, usually I'm drinking it, but we got a late start here this week.
That's right. But we're going to get
saving them
quick.
up for Labor Day weekend.
There you go. We'll have a nice show. Turner will be drunk on the show next week.
Yep.
And
that's a guarantee.
And we'll be back as my Longhorns will be 1-0, and they will still be the number 1 team in the country on their way to a 16-0 perfect season. If you're new to the channel, like and subscribe.
50-50.
Like and subscribe. Give us a comment. Who's your best bet of the week? Who do you like in the big games that we broke down? Give us any comments below. They help. Our engagement helps grow the channel. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll catch you guys on Monday for the recap show as we'll preview the NFL, and we'll come back next week for our college football recap or college football picks in week 2. Have a great week. Catch you guys next time.
Dude, I haven't shown you.